What time does the parade go by? Are we in the right place for the parade?
It's gone. You missed it.
Oh, for God's sake.
You'll be in time for next year.
Oh, well, I'm in a good spot then. Top of the morning to you.
Woo!
May the road right up to meet you in diddly eye and all that gear. You're waking up to the greenest day of the year. It's happy St. Patrick's Day.
Balachty na féile páric rib elug. Coming up this morning, Ireland are the Six Nations champions. We'll talk you through yesterday's victory and all the rest of the morning's big sports stories. Again,
yes. Plus, they're Irish, but they weren't born here. Are we meeting a host of familiar faces who call Ireland home? They'll be discussing their special connection to St. Patrick's Day, and they're all in green.
It's our duty.
Yeah.
Lee Park might have banished them centuries ago, but they just keep slithering on back. We'll be joined by a bunch of snakes that he seems to have missed a little bit later.
What kind of breakfast show will we be without a full Irish in the kitchen? We'll be cooking that staple of Irish cuisine. There's a little bit of a twist to it as well.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah, but perfect for some pre-Paddy's soakage, and we'll need it.
And what does being Irish mean to you? We'll be asking that question right across the morning. So, fáid angwal, feit to WhatsApp chudain, Rifush chudain, or get in touch by any of our social media channels.
We'd love to hear from you. Deric usually isn't with us on a Sunday, but he is saying Mass down in the Pro Cathedral. And it is one of his favourite days of the year, so we couldn't stop him going into the parade. So, Deric, what's going on?
Cahawilta, Deric, Lob Parks on the Ridge.
Mahagrave, Martin, Agus, Claudia, Tommy, Bjorn Shaw, Ilona Corrig, Lahaig, Law Eila Porrick. And already, as you can see here on the streets of the capital, beginning to build in terms of that atmosphere. Now, what a show we've got lined up for you over the coming hours. Coming up at 9:15, we're going to be catching up with broadcaster and indeed the Grand Marshal of this year's parade, Patrick Kielty. We're going to be playing drums with the Clondalkin Youth Band, as well as getting live local reaction here on the ground, right across the board. Lots of crack, lots of kill. It's going to be a fun one. Back to studio.
Woo!
You said it looks like 28 days late.
It does, yeah. Deric's the only person left in the world.
He's in charge of all the floats?
Yes, and a mullet.
Well, that's true, yeah, okay.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media One.
This afternoon will be mostly dry with sunshine for Munster and Connacht, while showers in Leinster and Ulster will clear as the afternoon progresses. Temperatures will range between 12 and 13 degrees. And we can expect more rain starting to edge into Connacht and Munster during the late afternoon and into the evening. Temperatures will range between 10 and 12 degrees. And tonight there'll be showers moving west to east with clearer weather by morning. Overnight temperatures will range between 7 and 10 degrees.
You need to be chilled to handle Irish weather. That's why Chill sponsor weather updates on Virgin Media One.
Let's get a check now on your morning papers, starting with the front page of the Sunday Independent. Its headline reads, Gore the bike row, sworn testimony changed by supervisor. It goes on to report that at least one Gore the supervisor involved in a controversial investigation that led to a Garda being suspended for 3 years for giving an unwanted bicycle to a pensioner changed their sworn testimony at a recent Board of Inquiry.
Next is the Business Post, which opens with government finally admits housing targets significantly below demand. It writes that Finance Minister Michael McGrath has been warned by his officials in private documents that the government's housing targets of 33,000 homes are significantly below the actual requirement of 50,000 homes per year.
On to the tabloids, and the Irish Mail on Sunday leads with 7 TDs consider McDowell alliance. It writes that independent TDs who oppose the family and care referendums are mobilising around former Justice Minister Michael McDowell in a bid to create a new Dáil alliance.
The Sunday World puts cab to grab Viper's Nest on its front page. It writes that the Criminal Assets Bureau have launched a legal bid to seize the family home of veteran gangster and debt collector Martin Foley over his unpaid €738,000 tax bill.
The Sunday Mirror leads with the headline, Parade Charade. It writes the government was last night accused of stroke politics after a migrant camp was cleared ahead of the St. Patrick's Day festivities.
And the Sun on Sunday opens with Strictly stars in Summit on Geo. It writes that ex-Strictly stars Amanda Avington, Ranveer Singh and Laura Whitmore have met in person to share their difficult experiences with pro Giovanni Pernice. Right, stay with us. One of the country's most famous Patricks is talking to Deric next.
Bridget over that. Now, many of you will, of course, be flocking to Dublin this lunchtime for the largest St. Patrick's Day parade in the country. But if you're staying home, fear not, we'll be getting regular updates from our man on the ground.
Yeah, he's doing the overtime today. Deric is in the capital ahead of the parade. Deric.
Absolutely, gur míle maith Grania agus mar Tommy Bionshell on the Corrico Oston Academy Plaza Laig Low Féile Park. We're joined now by the man of the moment, broadcaster extraordinaire and the Grand Marshal of this year's parade, Patrick Kielty.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Patrick, before we get into all things Paddy's there, will I call you Paddy?
Can, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
all good.
Let's talk about Tommy Bowen, how you left him high and dry the other night.
I mean, look, I would say, some would say Tommy left himself high and dry. I'm not going to lie. It's like we give him the chance, we got him to sing, you know, and I know he's very, you know, he takes his art very seriously.
He does.
In terms of
it was one of those moments.
It was.
A lot of sore heads this morning following that win yesterday.
It's the timing of this is, they say the secret of comedy is timing, isn't it? So the idea of going out, winning the Six Nations, the celebrations, and then been up early this morning. I'm not going to lie, what I saw in the mirror this morning at 6 o'clock wasn't Grand Marshal ready. But we've sorted it out, I think, and we're ready to go.
Now, you are the Grand Marshal of this year's parade. How did you get the gig?
I'm still asking myself that. in my head, every day I'm going, someone's going to call up here and tell me this is a joke. I mean, Patrick Duffy did it last year, and there's a famous scene in Dallas where he actually comes back in the shower and people go, that's just way too much, that can't be believed. The fact that I'm actually following Patrick Duffy as a kid, used to sit and watch him on Dallas, that's a plot line that I didn't see coming at all. Curveball.
It's going to be one of the biggest parades the country has ever seen today, right?
Yes, it is, and some of the numbers on it in terms of, you know, the reach around the world is just extraordinary. It's proper pinch me stuff. You know, as someone who has, you know, spent many's a Paddy's Day abroad, crying into a very warm Guinness in a plastic glass in Los Angeles, wondering, you know, what it would be like to be home. To actually just be home and be here on Paddy's Day is a massive, massive deal. It's a massive deal for so many people around the world, and you know, that's not lost on me whenever I'm going to be Grand Marshal today. Growing up in Dundrum in County Down, you're a proud Northern Irishman, but also you're a very proud Irishman. How was St. Patrick's Day growing up for you at home? You know, one of the things about this today is that when you're from County Down, St. Patrick is writ large. I mean, I was born in Downpatrick. I used to walk past where St. Patrick was buried every morning on the way to school. The idea back then, there wasn't a parade. You know, the times that we were living through, there wasn't a St. Patrick's Day parade in Downpatrick, and now, you know, we have people coming together, you know, in Downpatrick, all across the north, all across the island and around the world. That is not lost on me, and I'll be keeping a lot of people in my mind today when I'm out there.
I rewatched your interview with Michelle O'Neill, the First Minister, actually last night, and like very poignant now, the fact that we have the Assembly back together again and a move forward for politics in Northern Ireland.
Yeah, you know, I think, you know, if you look at some of the things that we've seen this last couple of weeks, we've had Michelle O'Neill at Windsor Park for a Northern Ireland match. We've had, you know, Emma Little Pengali playing a bit of hurling. And, you know, it's stuff like that that today is about. It's about bringing people together, all traditions, you know, whatever your background, St. Patrick's for everybody. And it's great to see.
You're a proud Irishman. What makes you proud to be an Irishman?
What makes me proud to be an Irishman is the reach that we have and the confidence that we now have in ourselves. I think that there was for a long time, we thought we could be world class. And if you look at what's going on with our acting now and, you know, the movie industry and the fact that people are coming here and doing world-class things here, our story always used to be, in order to be world-class, we had to go somewhere else. And the fact that it's now happening here, that's what makes me really proud.
Home is London for you at the moment. You've Cat and the two boys, Cat and the kittens.
Yes, Cat and the boys, yeah.
You spent many St. Patrick's Day over in London as well, right?
There's been a couple. The boys are going to be watching this on the player today, so I'll be giving them a wave whenever I'm heading down. Hopefully this weekend will finish a little bit better than last weekend whenever I put them in two Ireland jerseys as her entire family came down
Do they support Ireland?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh, they do, right?
Oh, no,
okay,
no. The boys absolutely support Ireland, and so she came back after working in the States for 7 weeks. So her entire family came down last weekend. So you can imagine what that was like in a house full of English people, and 3 people in Ireland jerseys, just as that English kick went over to lose the rugby. So this weekend, there's
your turn.
There's a happy ending.
There's a happy ending. She obviously started the brand new gig with this morning as well.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Are you proud?
Oh my God, so proud. You know, she's knocking it out of the park this week, and for me, I just think it's, you know, that's a natural gig for her in terms of, you know, my wife will happily talk to anybody about anything, whether there's a camera on her or not. So, I mean, match made in heaven.
I mean, you're ruling the TV on Friday, and then she's Monday to Friday, and you're also on radio as well, right?
Yeah, there's a bit of a juggle going on, but as the man says, you know, if you can keep the balls in the air, it's good to be busy.
Absolutely, it's never a juggle without a struggle.
Yeah.
So what's involved for you today? What are you doing?
So we go from here, there's a bit of a breakfast, we then are taken to the top of the parade. Apparently there's a crazy backstage area where everybody's getting ready. That should be quite good crack. Apparently if you're the Grand Marshal, that's where you can potentially go missing.
Have you practiced your wave? Quite robotic. I love that. That's good. I'm liking that. Like, there's going to be thousands. There's going to be thousands of people. Are you nervous?
I kind of am.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's been a while since a downed man has had a day out in Dublin.
Yeah,
to be honest, if you know the fortunes of our GAA team. So yeah, nervous, excited, looking forward to it, and just really want to suck it all in.
All right, well, Patrick, you're the most famous Paddy in the country here today. Best of luck on your Grand Marshal role and everything going forward. We'll have more here from the heart of Dublin City Centre right across the morning. But for now, Martin and Groney, back to you in the studio. It's going to be fun today.
It is.
He's such a lovely guy, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
The only guy on his previous chat show on the BBC that Alex Ferguson agreed to sit down and have a chat with.
Stop.
Yeah, honestly, when Ferguson was in charge at Manchester United, his was the only chat show he appeared on, and they had a game of beer can roulette.
Nice.
Shaking it, opening it up, and Alex Ferguson won in Fergie time, as he always would.
Yeah, on the 98th minute.
Don't you know?
All morning we're celebrating our national holiday here today. We want to hear from you.
Oh, absolutely. What does being Irish mean to you? Have your say by contacting us by email, WhatsApp, Instagram. You can get us on X or indeed on Facebook.
Poor old Lenny's already getting the festivities are getting to him. He's all right. He's all right.
Lenny the leprechaun.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's kind of, yeah.
Yeah, he's becoming, what did you call him? Leany.
Leany. Well, he is kind of leany-ing on you right now just to stay upright.
Well, Corja.
Do you know why he's not feeling great?
Why?
He's nobody. It's just all head.
Up next, Ireland are Six Nations champions for the second year in a row. We're talking sport right after the break.
Yes, welcome back. Ireland were crowned Six Nations champions yesterday for the second year in a row after a hard-fought victory over Scotland. Off the balls, Mick McCarthy is going through this morning's top sports stories with us. But first, we'll take a pick of the paper headlines. We start with the Sunday Independent and blaze of glory as O'Mahony leads Ireland to back-to-back Six Nations titles in a last hurrah. Next up, we've got the Sunday Mirror with Ten Hag, SOS being the title. Boss tells owner, I'm your man and we are united. That's ahead of United's big FA Cup quarter-final showdown with Liverpool today. And finally, not a bad one to go out on. O'Mahony to decide his future as Ireland are crowned. And that's the Sunday World this time going with the story dominating the back pages this St. Patrick's Day, that Ireland's Six Nations victory. And that's where we'll start. Nowhere else to start, I suppose. It was a hard-fought and nervy win yesterday against Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. It was. The first half performance from Ireland was poor, I would say, you know, and that's not something you say about this team very often. Even when things don't go their way, they're rarely playing well below their capabilities, and I really thought they were. They just didn't seem to have any ideas. If it wasn't for Dan Sheehan getting the lucky try at the back of the line out, we'd have likely gone in behind. And so, yeah, there was a bit of concern there. There was a bit of a hangover after what happened in Twickenham. But they did answer the call, I would say. I think the second half performance was much better, and I think on another day, the work they did in the second half, little inaccuracies here and there, little bits of bad luck with the referee, I think would have went, you know, I think it ended up, it could have been a 20-point win on another day, given the performance in the second half.
Yeah. Did you think Furlong's try was a try?
I really did, yeah. I have to say, and I thought that the referee showed a little bit of hard-headedness as well, kind of almost refusing to look at the possible penalties for the head hits and different things like that. So yeah, it was a strange refereeing performance, as they so often are. But yeah, look, to be honest, at that point, I was getting to the stage where I almost wasn't worried, because if Ireland just had the beating of Scotland at that stage, and obviously that try there towards the end made us a little bit nervous for a couple of minutes, and that was the payment for not, you know, converting those chances. But on the balance of play, it was much better. And I thought, like, you know, there's a lot to be said for that, because they weren't playing well. It's hard to find it in the middle of a game, as we saw last week, and Ireland did find it a little bit, and it was, you know, I think a well championship winning worthy performance in the end, which is impressive.
Yeah, well, that's what champions do.
Exactly.
When they're not playing well, they find a way to win. Peter O'Mahony, lots of talk about him today, and he said himself he doesn't know. He doesn't know, yeah. So the story, you kind of think came from somewhere, you know, so whether there's room to change your mind or what, we don't know, but it could have been his last day. I think anyone who was watching the anthems before the game would suggest that, you know, he was feeling extra emotional, you would think, and is this the last time I'm standing here for this? He'll be a loss, I think, in terms of leadership, in terms of his play, in terms of everything, if he does step down. But it's worth noting that Peter O'Mahony is one of, I think, 5 players, maybe 4, who won their 5th championship yesterday. And if you think that's in 11 years, Conor Murray, Ian Henderson, Cian Healy, and I may be missing one, apologies if I am, they've won their 5th championship in 11 years. And when you think, Martin, of, you know, what we grew up watching in the 5 Nations and everything like that, and how we'd be lucky to get a wooden spoon, it's kind of unbelievable. It's the consistency over time of how Ireland have turned this around, but they've been a huge part of it. Nobody more so than O'Mahony. So yeah, like, I mean, if he is gone, it'll be a big loss. He'd be a big loss, I think, to the heart of the team and the way we watch it. You know, like, him getting emotional at the national anthem is something that we're nearly used to. He always seems like the fire and the heart of that team, you know, from a fan's perspective as well. Yeah. Listen, it's the influence in the dressing room as well as the influence on the pitch that matters. And a lot of people with their fingers crossed that he decides to stay. Give it one more year. We know he won't be around for the World Cup, but we hope that he's around for next year. Quite a game, though, to follow, because, like, France and England had, well, nothing to play for as such, because Ireland had won the championship. But what a game they produced in the end. Yeah, absolutely. Well, it was a way to kind of sign off their season as well. I kind of heard a lot of the TV talk about there being nothing to play for, and I just didn't really buy into it. It's like both teams are looking to find something for the future, and France obviously had a really, really poor, by their perspective, year. England have been getting better as they've gone on. There was a lot of positives for them early on in the tournament that I didn't buy. And then when they went, and what they did to Ireland was their best performance in years. Regardless of Ireland's performance, it was their best performance in years last week. And in many ways, they went to Lyon last night and backed it up. You know, they were brilliant. There was, you know, I think straight after the game, the commentator said, like, this is the England to be worried about in future years. Ireland were a good bit better at the moment, but if England continue to play like this, they're a team to worry about. And France, as we know, kind of showed a little bit more of what they've been about. This penalty at the end was something else. Like, the referee moved where this penalty was from 3 times, or moved it twice. It was the 3rd place it was placed, and Ramos just never batted an eyelid, and it kept getting harder. And he just, like, you kind of said, oh, of all people that'll nail this with the match on the line, he'll do it. So it was a great game. It was a great way to sign off the tournament. I was happy that we didn't have to worry about what the score was going to be. It made me enjoy it a bit more. But if we had to, that would have been a celebration. It would have been fine. That would have been a great celebration. We also have to remember France were without their best player. Yeah. So, like, probably the world's best player in Antoine Dupont, who we might be seeing in the Olympics. So, you know, now that he's missed the 6 Nations, maybe we can enjoy what we see. But yeah, I don't think that could have been good for the team in any way, including their morale, to see that, like, you know, he's just kind of gone to. I know the Olympics are in Paris and all, but I still think it's a strange decision for him to. It is. To have left absolutely. The team, and just finally, before we move on from the rugby, great that Ireland have retained the championship. But what a 6 Nations it's been for Italy. Fantastic, yeah.
got very disappointed to see that they still finished 5th in the table. I almost don't understand how. It's just the way the results went, but they were obviously, 11 points clear of Wales in last place, but they were in control from minute 1. Like the scoreline was 3 points at the end. It was a consolation try for Wales at the end. Italy had this game in the bag from the start. Wales, terrible, let's face it, like as bad as anyone I think has ever seen them. But Italy have been great all the way through, and they haven't been beaten in their last 3 games. I don't know when was the last time they got back-to-back wins in the Six Nations, but
I think 2007.
There you go. And obviously I doubt they've ever gone 3 games unbeaten, and obviously they should have beaten France.
It was the width of a post.
It was the width of a post and all kinds of other things in terms of whether it should be retaken and everything like that. So they should have beaten France. They should have won 3 in a row, and what a brilliant thing for the tournament, because we couldn't keep going on with Italy being when's the Italy week? That's basically the break week, or the Italy game on the Sunday. You don't have to pay attention to that. All the action is on the Saturday, and that wasn't the case at all this year. They were the best team to watch. Everything about them was brilliant.
Okay, let's move on. Across the pond, it's FA Cup quarter-final weekend. Manchester City, defending FA Cup holders, got a win last night against Newcastle. The big game today, it's gas. Somebody said in my ear, Jody, our producer, the biggest game in Irish sports this weekend, Manchester United versus Liverpool. It's going to be United, the only team to stop them scoring, actually.
Yeah.
Over the last number of months.
Yeah, and look, I mean, United came with a game plan that time at Anfield, and played for the 0-0 and got it, and it was impressive in one way, and then it was depressing in another way if you're a Manchester United fan, that's what it's come to. But I don't know if they'll do that at Old Trafford. I'm not sure the fans will be overly forgiving of it, but this is a huge, huge game for Manchester United. It's a huge game for both teams, actually, because I think Liverpool are on a trophy hunt in Klopp's last season. They might not win them all, but I don't think they'll have too much of a priority list as to which ones they want, and this is a huge chance for them. But United, I wonder if this is the decider on Ten Hag's future, because if they don't go and win the FA Cup or go and beat Liverpool, if they're beaten handily by Liverpool in the quarter-final when their season is on the line, really, then you'd have to say, what's the future there when they go to think about their manager in the summer?
We'll certainly watch with interest. Just very quickly before we move on to GAA, we got a reminder of what the FA Cup is about yesterday with Coventry's
unbelievable
Wolves.
Unbelievable game. So Coventry, who've been in the doldrums for so long, I mean, they nearly went out of business, and they're on the up again, and in a local derby away to Wolves, and to get I can't even describe what happened. I mean, it was, Wolves came back into it, went ahead. Coventry equalised in the, 8th, 9th minute of injury time, and then scored the winner in the 11th minute. It was absolutely crazy stuff. But that's
a reminder. Yeah,
there really is. Sometimes the FA Cup is the magic of the cup. All of that cliches are true.
Quickly move on, because after 10 years in the top flight, Monaghan got relegated last night, but they really put it up to Tyrone.
They did, yeah. And I think what they showed last night was that Monaghan might be, falling out of Division 1, but they're a Division 1 calibre team. And this happens. Monaghan have stayed up on the last day for the last 5 years in a row. It's an unbelievable run. Those things always come to an end. They're not even going to reach the last day this year, but from what I've seen of them so far this year, I would say there's still that mixture of experience and youth. There is a conveyor belt there. They are bringing through players. I don't think they've anything massive to worry about. Maybe a year in Division 2 and winning some games and not going through the battle of every week being underdogs might help them come championship next year, So it's a pity, because it was a nice story. They were the longest in Division 1, I think, except for Kerry. So it's a pity that they'll be down. But again, show last night, because Tyrone are firing a little bit now, and they're looking like the team of a couple of years ago. And my God, Deric Hanavan
he's incredible.
Is an incredible player, and that team, that forward line has a great look about it at the moment. They're exciting.
Just very quickly, can the Rossies save themselves?
They still have a bit of work to do, but they have the game. They have to go to Kerry today, and then they have to host Derry, or maybe it's the other way around. It's the other way around. Sorry, I realised as I was saying it. Yeah, so look, they could beat Kerry today, and then it's, who knows, because Galway have to go to Kerry on the last day. So they have 2 points to make up. They could do it. It'd be nice to see. There's always a bit of fun and a great escape, and it's not going to be Monaghan this year, so it may as well be the Rossies.
Okay, we will wait and see. We'll watch with interest. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
And to you.
Good. Enjoy the rest of it. After the break, we'll chat to the New Irish about what celebrating St. Patrick's Day means for them.
Gate Fáilte. Now, while many of us were born in Ireland and so were assigned Irish nationality at birth, a select group have chosen to become Irish.
Joining us to tell us about life as the new Irish are familiar faces to Ireland AM viewers, our in-house chefs, Lily Ramirez-Foran, also Mindy Keane, along with comedian and social media star Fabu D, who you'll know online as Black Paddy. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone! You weren't too impressed with our leprechaun, Lily?
No, I mean, he's cute, but, like, you know, it's a bit stereotypical.
Yeah. And
I get offended. This is how I know I'm Irish. I get offended on your behalf.
Well, thank you for that. But Lily, on our behalf.
Yes.
Yeah.
On your
it's
own
true,
behalf.
It's true. On my behalf, yeah. This is when I learned.
Wants a question about dressing up as a Mexican.
Yeah. So I was like, well, I'll come in if you actually come in dressed as a leprechaun. That settled the issue very quickly.
Very quickly.
Cultural attaché.
You see.
Fair play to you.
Tell us, please. How long have you been living in Ireland, Lily?
I was telling Mindy, I've been living here longer than I ever lived in Mexico, which is really shocking. So I'm here 23 years.
No way.
Wow. Yeah, 23 years, a long time.
Was it love that brought you here?
Has to be. It's not the weather, lads. The weather's horrific. I come from like 48 Celsius and the land of eternal sunshine to the last 3 days. Today is beautiful, actually. Yeah. So anybody going to see the festival is going to have a great time.
Hopefully it'll stay that way. Hopefully it'll stay that way. Mindy, you had a real roundabout route to get here, didn't you?
I've been, lived everywhere. I was born in Africa. I'm of Indian origin. Lived in the UK for 30 years. And then I moved over here and I've been here 20 years. So a bit like Lily, you know.
And again, it was love.
Yeah, of course. I married a leprechaun. Yeah. A lovely leprechaun. You'd be watching and saying, what?
You'd be in trouble. Imagine the cup of tea that's right there. You get
exactly, yeah.
So when you describe yourself to people, because of your origins, your birthplace, where you lived for your formative years, we'll say where the accent comes from, and now where you are, do you describe yourself as Irish, or how do you label yourself?
Weird, people do say to me, and so where are you from? I said, what do you mean, like where we're born or where I've come from? Or so I have to explain to him. I said, no, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm an Irish citizen to him. I just say, look, I now live in Ireland and I'm, you know, married an Irishman. They always say, well, what brought you here? An Irishman, obviously, you know, and like that, you know, I mean, the UK was pretty similar weather to here, so it's not as though I've come here for the weather, I just came here for the leprechaun, so.
In fairness, Mindy, you literally took the Connor Pass to get to Ireland.
I did, yeah. I left.
The scenic route.
Yeah, exactly. Love it. Beautiful place and lovely people. Yeah.
And same question to you.
Yeah, man, it's a great adventure. Honestly, it's been a long roller coaster, living a beautiful African land, and coming to Ireland it's been a great experience for me. It's been really cool, and I've actually enjoyed every experience, all the shenanigans, and here I am, a proper Black Paddy. You know, it's been
proud.
Literally extremely proud. You know, I followed the Guinness route. You know, I was like, what country has Guinness just like Africa? Right, Ireland it is.
That's where it comes from. I'm going there too.
I'm telling you.
With a great jacket.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. This was the jacket that actually got me known in Ireland. So when I started my journey as the Black Paddy, I used to wear the jacket and go around different counters and try the Guinness and stuff like that. Yeah. Then this is the Batman suit basically. Yeah. This the heroic suit. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I want to see the Batmobile.
Well, I don't have a Batmobile anymore. I'm banned off the road, so that's how you can tell I'm Irish. Yeah, that's.
We'll move on. Talk to me about the naturalisation process, because I know one or two people have gone through it, and it's not always plain sailing. It can take a little while, can't it?
Yeah. It does take a while, and there's a lot involved, a lot of research that goes into, like for me, I was here 16 years before I applied, and it was all bank statements and my job and what you know, everything. You had to give everything to say that you were here for, you know, you were here to, you know, to become, you know, and be part of it. And but yeah, it was
yeah, it must be like when you live in loads of different places, because you have to pretty much detail everywhere you've been, every address, and like I remember payroll. I needed to get payrolls from 5 jobs ago, like you were talking about, like
that's
15
tough.
years. You kind of. I think it's worth it when you get through it. There's a cost, and not everybody can afford it. So we were privileged to be able to afford it. But yeah, it's an interesting. But like when you're there and everybody's standing and you have your cert in your hand and you really, it's amazing.
That was the best
It was
really
just
amazing.
everything about it was amazing.
It took me like 10 years for me to actually get my citizenship. Like, you know, sometimes whenever I feel homesick, I just go to Blanchardstown or just like me having my cert was the best feeling in the world. I feel like, yes, now I can travel the world. So when I got my cert, I went international. I traveled to Sligo for the first time and actually had the best crack. It was amazing, like really, really cool. Really, it was actually really double.
I've been to the citizen ceremony and it is emotional.
It's very emotional.
And when you stand up and you repeat a sort of an oath, really, isn't it? A pledge to the country. It hits you.
Because there's also that sense that you're worth adoption. This sounds terrible, but you know, you're now an adopted. You belong. You belong. It's a strange thing. It's official.
It is, and you feel like you belong somewhere. Like for me, I went through a weird journey to get to England because we were refugees in England at the time, got kicked out of Uganda. So to be like, you feel like, okay, somebody actually wants me. I belong there. You know what I mean? So it's a good feeling, and it's a good, isn't it? It's lovely.
Because so many of your family are Irish. So now you've got the passport.
Exactly.
You've got the cert to prove. Well, I am too.
Well, that's it. I mean,
do you feel that emotional connection to Ireland, or is it?
I feel like I'm a national treasure at this stage. Like I'm part of the furniture. I'm like, look, it's just like wherever I go in Ireland right now, I'm literally recognized. I can go to the deep end of nowhere, and people seem like, oh, that's your man from TikTok, the Black Paddy. I'm like, it's. But when I come to Dublin, I'm like, are you your man that does 10 videos on TikTok? I'm like, yeah, you're not funny, and they walk away. I'm like, what do you think you're talking to? But like, I'm used to it now. It's just an Irish thing. That it's
so like, Irish.
It's just,
they'll stop you just to say.
Come here. No, it's just an. I'm used to this.
Didn't you have friends came over to visit you from Mexico and they saw Bono?
I know. Yeah, we were in this restaurant and they saw Bono and they were like, that's Bono. And they wanted to go in and I was like, you can't do that. He's having his lunch, like, forget it. I was mortified. Mortal. And I was like, no, you can't do that.
That is the most Irish thing of the day so far. I was mortified.
Because, like, it's not something that we do.
Yeah,
and they were like, what do you mean? And I was like, no, like, this is why celebrities love coming to Ireland, because they're left alone. And, like, this is super rude. So I stopped them from getting... And then... Up till now, I can't believe I don't have a photo with Bono because you interfered.
You spoiled my life.
I think that's the coolest thing about Ireland.
It is, actually.
Nobody gives two hoops of who you are. It's like, whatever.
Bono tells that story himself. Somebody said, there's Bono. And our friend said, so?
That's what I'm saying.
It's great.
What are your plans for St. Patrick's Day, Lily?
Well, I'm going to celebrate like most Irish people do.
Okay.
Right? You know, I'm not going to the parade. I'm going to have a glass of Guinness with my family and we'll just have something to eat and enjoy. Avoid...
You just a glass of Guinness, a pint, man.
Well, you see, I'm like...
a lady.
Yeah, no, I can't. A pint is too much for me. But, like, avoid town at all costs, right? And give out about all the videos of people talking about Paddy's Day.
Oh, yeah. We won't go there. We're well over that.
Yeah.
We're Irish.
And your plans have more than a glass of Guinness.
Probably 5 or 6 pints of Guinness. Do it the real way.
Well, whatever you're up to, enjoy it. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Thanks
for joining us
Thank
today.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
If you want to get more of Fabu D, you can find his podcast, The Black Paddy Show, on YouTube.
Thank you so much. The Black Paddy. Sure, tune in and check it out. It's a new podcast I'm actually doing right now. You know, like it's gonna be like involving, like talking about a lot of humor and mental health and stuff like that. So,
okay.
The best of luck with it, and thanks a million. Still to come, some of the reptiles in St. Patrick missed when he was banishing snakes.
We'll also be cooking the perfect full Irish fry in the kitchen. Stay with us. They're going to hang on now as well. Full Irish, yeah.
Were you a majorette?
Don't you know I was?
Gomanig díríb maidide bhar géad fáilte isteach agus beannachtaí na féile páric líomh go léir.
Yes, exactly what she said. Yes. Still to come, St. Patrick tried his best to kick them all out, but he might have missed a couple. We've some local snakes slithering into
Pronounced
the studio. Snakes.
Plus, for the day that's in it, we'll be learning to make the perfect Irish coffee. After the snakes, we might need it.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. And we have to drink them as well, because that's what the researchers said we have to do. The Irish coffees.
Yes. I actually have to sign to say I had to do that.
And of course, the Queen of Cuisine, Lizzie Lyons, is over in the kitchen this morning. What's cooking, Lizzie? Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Many happy returns. We are making some really quintessentially Irish potato cakes for breakfast with 2 eggs, 2 sausages,
2 bacon, 2...
sauce on that, Lizzie. So we're putting a little mini breakfast with it then, Irish breakfast. I'll finish the song later. You let me down. You've got to learn it.
I have to learn the words
He's a dub. He doesn't know that song. Oh, jeepers. While we're cooped up in here in studio, Deric's our man on the ground on O'Connell Street. What's the crack down there right now, Deric?
Gur míle maithagóibh Gráine agus mar tá mí bíonn seo lá na páric lá na card le haig lá féile páric. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone! We've got Marcel and all his family here. From where, Marcel?
I'm from Romania.
Romania. Are you excited to be here today?
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Nice. And the sun is shining. We're saying salut to Sophie from where?
France.
France. What part of France?
Strasbourg.
It's ici en vacances. You're here on holidays.
Yes.
And we're getting the party started with Bolivia and España. Woo! Brian, you excited to be here as well?
Yes, I'm so excited. We are from Bolivia. We come so far away. Amazonas here present.
Amazonas and España.
Yeah, here too.
Absolutely. Lots of crack, lots of fun here on the streets. But for now, back to studio.
Oh, sorry. I wonder, should we be down there going hats, flags and headbands?
That's it.
Hats, flags and headbands.
Let's take a check now on your morning paper, starting with the front page of the Sunday Independent. Its headline reads, Garda bike row, sworn testimony changed by supervisor. It goes on to report that at least one Garda supervisor involved in a controversial investigation that led to a Garda being suspended for 3 years for giving an unwanted bicycle to a pensioner changed their sworn testimony at a recent Board of Inquiry.
Next is the Business Post, which opens with government finally admits housing targets significantly below demand. It writes the Finance Minister, Michael McGrath, has been warned by his officials in private documents that the government's housing targets of 33,000 homes are significantly below the actual requirement of 50,000 homes per year.
On to the tabloids now, and the Irish Mail on Sunday leads with 7 TDs consider McDougall alliance. It writes that independent TDs who oppose the family and care referendums are mobilising around former Justice Minister Michael McDougall in a bid to create a new Dáil alliance.
The Sunday World puts cab to grab Viper's Nest on its front page. It writes that the Criminal Assets Bureau have launched a legal bid to seize the family home of vet and gangster and debt collector Martin Foley over his unpaid €738,000 tax bill.
The Irish Sunday Mirror leads with the headline, Parade Charade. It writes the government was last night accused of stroke politics after a migrant camp was cleared ahead of the St. Patrick's Day festivities.
And the Sun on Sunday opens with Strictly stars in Summit on Geo. It writes that ex-Strictly stars Amanda Abington, Renvar Singh and Laura Whitmore have met in person to share their difficult experiences with pro Giovanni Pernice. All right, I knew I'd struggle with the pronunciation of Geo's name, but there you go.
Well, let's look at
the Geo Summit.
Yes.
Anyway, speaking of names,
Irish names.
Yeah, Rian, Oisin, Fia, and Ava. have turned out to be the most popular Irish baby names revealed in the Independent for St. Patrick's Day. Can you believe it? Most popular Irish names for babies of the last year. It's brilliant to hear.
I'm
that
delighted.
These names are coming back.
Absolutely. And Tig is coming back. Liam, Killian, obviously, spelt with a C,
yes,
and not pronounced Cillian, as poor old Killian had to put up with at the Oscars. And Finn are coming back. So, and Patrick is still there as well, holding his own.
Yeah, no problem. And Sive, Aaron, it's brilliant to see these names. Because,
I love it.
You know, all these Hollywood type names.
Yes.
That have, or weather references or places where the child was conceived being used as their first name. Yeah, well, the Beckhams did it with Brooklyn,
They
didn't
did, yeah, but Ballyhonus doesn't quite sound the same, does it? No disrespect to Ballyhonus, it's fabulous. Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Hello, Mayo.
Backseat Dollymount wasn't such a good name either, was it? No. So I'm glad to see that these names are making a comeback, and it's good.
Indeed.
And some of them, like Fiat, it kind of only got in.
Came from nowhere, really. Yeah.
And since we start, saying you can use photos.
That's right.
That's when it jumped up top of the
list. So what was going on with me for how many years ago when I got growing you with the father? It was obviously registered without the father, because it's only in the last couple of years that you're able to put a father in.
Anyway. So good to hear about that. What are your thoughts on that? Because we'd love to hear about it at 0896 111 111. Now, lots of you have been in touch because we know that you're getting yourself set. We're asking you the question, what does it mean to you to be Irish? And plenty of people giving us answers, but also plenty of people getting themselves set for the day ahead. We've got some great pictures too. Have a look at this. This is getting ready for Paddy's Day. That's Flash, the Siberian Husky from Ballina.
And he knows he's handsome. Look at him. Look at him. He looks like something from a Bugsy Malone movie or something like that. He's given real,
giving us the eyes.
Icy vibes there. Yeah. Fair play to you. That's gorgeous.
We do like that. Next, from New York City, Sinead says, this year is special to our family as Alan, dad to Alana and Ava, and husband Sinead marched in the New York City parade yesterday. Very proud of him. He's not in any rush to get back to Ireland, though, today, is he?
But it's a great place. I'd say New York is great on Paddy's Day. Yeah.
Great
Especially
place
if you're actually Irish. OK, Leona got in touch. She said good morning from herself and Keith in Holland. Just heading into Amsterdam, no doubt into Dam Square for a bit of St. Patrick's Day celebrating. And they love watching the show. Oh, my word.
And that, by the way, is our other granddaughter. We have 3 granddaughters, and that is Sophia and her friend Reese. And they had a St. Patrick's Day party at their Soccer Stars yesterday morning in Swords. That's her. In all her glory for St. Patrick's Day.
I cannot cope with the cuteness of your family.
Well, what can I tell you?
They're absolutely beautiful, because we had Mia on, spotted her Gaga on TV the other day.
And she actually stayed with us last night. Across the bed.
Of course, like a starfish.
Yeah,
like they do.
So she's waking up watching the telly today, but that's Sophia, who we love very much. And then we've 2 other grandchildren, Aaron.
You better mention them now.
Yeah, Aaron and Ella. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
From Gaga. OK, you might have thought St. Patrick got rid of them all. No. But you'd be wrong. We've got Snakes in the studio after the break.
Yes, welcome back. We thought St. Patrick had rid the country of snakes, but it turns out he missed a few.
Just a few. James Hennessy from the National Reptile Zoo joins us now, along with a couple of Nather Niva you've brought with you today. You're so welcome, James.
Hey, guys.
And who have we here?
This is Mr. T. Mr. T is a McClot's python. And he's fine to touch. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he is.
He's got this lovely iridescence.
Yes, it's like rainbow trout almost.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he's actually about to shed. I don't know if you can see his eyes on camera. His eyes are a little grey.
Oh, yeah.
So he's about to shed his skin. So he'll even be even brighter once he sheds.
Oh, wow. OK, so this is almost the old skin now he's getting rid of. So usually
he'll release an oil between his old skin and his new skin.
Yeah.
And then he just sheds off. It's like taking off a sock. And it comes off inside out. It comes off in a couple of, within about maybe an hour.
All right. Some pair of socks.
Yeah. Tights, leggings, whatever.
Yeah. We won't go there.
Okay.
I was just saying to you before we started, do snakes need a better PR agent?
Yeah, they really did get a bad rap, in fairness. Yeah. I mean, this guy, if you look at him, this guy eats rats. They do really, really great from rodent control. Mm-hmm. You know, so they're totally harmless to us. a bite from a hamster would be much worse than a bite from this guy.
Really?
Yeah, he's got about 100 teeth in there. 4 rows on top, 2 on the bottom, like needles. If he bites you, it's like getting caught in a briar. It's not that bad.
Okay,
You know,
okay. But hamsters don't wrap themselves around you, James.
They don't. This is true. This is true. But I mean, even for this chap to get around your neck, he's not actually big enough to be a risk to us.
Okay.
You know, he's not a big python or a big boa, which we have a slightly bigger boa in a bit. But
yeah,
But we're hardwired, aren't we? In a way, I suppose it must be something that's in us that, you know, reacts the way people do.
Yeah, it's hard
like
to
we
say.
have a floor manager who's the farthest away I've ever seen her in studio today.
She's doing this from the car park.
It's odd. What we tend to see in the zoo is if we take out a small snake and you've got a mother who's got a young baby in her arms, the baby's first instinct is actually to reach for the snake.
Yes.
But as soon as the mother, she doesn't want to react.
Yeah.
But as soon as she makes any kind of tense,
Yeah.
the child reacts to that. So I don't know, is it instinctive or is it more?
Or is we're taught it, learned behaviour. Okay.
And again,
all right.
that's where your PR comes in.
Yeah. How did you come across Mr. T?
Mr. T was bred. So as part of the zoo network, we breed a lot of the rare, more endangered species.
Okay.
So this chap was bred, and he's part of a stud book.
Okay.
So as these guys disappear in the wild, we've got kind of a good genetic stock that we can release back into the wild.
So where is he from originally?
This chap is you get him from Northern Australia, Papua New Guinea. Okay. This guy specifically from Timor.
And is he fully grown?
He's an adult. Yeah. He actually, sorry, I should say she. We call it Mr. T. It's actually a she. It's actually
there
female.
you go. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Loveen.
But she's a full-grown adult.
No wonder she's not talking to us.
Yeah.
We're calling it Mr. T. The Reptile Zoo is celebrating, what is it, 18 years?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're open 18 years. Yeah, we're legally allowed to drink now.
Well, you've got more snakes.
Yeah, we'll pass him back,
us.
and I'll get him to grab.
All right.
One that's a really popular pet, actually.
You see, people are going, a pet, just bring that into my home, and you're on your own.
And this is full grown as well. This is as big as this gets, and this is a royal python, sometimes called a ball python.
Okay.
Called a ball python because they'll wrap up into a little ball to protect themselves. If she gets scared, or he, in this case, he'll curl up, wrap his body around his head, and to protect himself.
So how do they, you know, catch their prey, or are they?
How do they? Yeah.
Are they constricted?
They are, and the majority of snakes will be. So unless they're venomous, and we do venomous, but we don't have. We're not going to bring a venomous snake in here.
Thanks, Jesus, for that.
So the majority are constrictors. So with all those little sharp teeth I was talking about, so something like where this guy lives in West Africa, you'll get something like a gerbil, you call a jerboa, that they hunt,
Yes.
and they'll grab onto that with their teeth. They'll wrap around their prey, and they squeeze and squeeze until the animal stops breathing. And then once it's dead, then they swallow it whole.
Okay. Okay, and it takes a little while to digest that.
It does, depend on temperatures. So this chap, if we give him, we give him small
He
rats.
seems more lively now than Mr. T.
Because Mr. T is about to shed. So he's not having a good day, or she.
Right,
He's not having a good day. Yeah. So
no, and like all of us girls can kind of, you know, we feel that.
Yeah, and sometimes they do get a little bit more grumpy, all right, when they're about to shed.
Pre-shed tension.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what we call it.
This is full size.
This is a full-grown male. Yeah, it's a big male actually. This one, because they normally don't get as big. This is quite large for a male, and our females get a little bit chunkier because they got to lay the eggs.
Yes.
Okay. So the wider they are, the more eggs they can hold.
Right.
But these are very common pets.
What about these, I don't know, are they urban legends where people get them as pets and then all of a sudden they decide, a bit like, you know, the way people get puppies for Christmas, I don't want, and they let them out. Have you had stories like that?
Well, if we show you the next chap, I'll put this one away. We have very recently.
Is this a rescue snake?
This is, I wouldn't even call it a rescue. So this is a found snake.
A found snake?
Yeah, so this is another very, very popular pet. This is only a couple of years old. He will get to maybe about this long, fully grown. So this is a corn snake. And this was actually found in Kilkenny.
The markings are beautiful.
Gorgeous, yeah. Yeah, anoristic. So they breed them in the pet trade for certain colour morphs, which is quite interesting for colours. It's not so great genetically for an animal. It's like inbreeding of dogs and things like that. So you end up with other sorts of genetic issues.
Yeah.
But gorgeous markings. But
yeah, lovely markings.
Okay. So this was found, which means that there is an owner somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. We tried to find the owner. It was found about 6 months ago, maybe 5 months ago now.
And
middle of winter, during that really cold spell we had.
Yeah.
Somebody called us up, and it was a grandson of his granny basically found it in their backyard near Nolan Park in Kilkenny.
Wow.
Okay.
Just heading down from the match.
Okay, and freezing temperatures, icy conditions, is that dangerous to the
It can be, depending on the species. So these are North American, so these get colder winters than we do. So if you imagine these guys, you imagine in the States, the winters are much, much harsher than ours. So they will hibernate and they'll shut down. They might get a warm day, they'll come out of hibernation, which is probably what happened to this guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so coming into this time of year, we get a lot of calls.
So now we're 6 months down the line. If somebody's at home in the middle of Kilkenny watching, going, there is Shawnee. Do they get in touch with you? Would you be returning him?
Absolutely.
Like, what would they have to say? Would they have to go call him? And if he went to them, like, how do you decide?
So snakes are actually deaf. So, well, I won't say deaf. Technically, they can't pick up airborne sounds.
But they smell with their tongue.
They smell with their tongue. So that tongue coming out, I don't know if you can see that tongue freaking out every now and again. So he's putting his tongue out, he's picking up scent particles in the air, he's bringing that back in, he processes it the same way we process smells. But he can't pick up airborne sounds. So you can call them all you like.
So somebody would have to be able to prove.
Yeah, if they can show some photos, because if somebody's bought a snake, they've always taken a photograph.
And this fella...
It'd be pretty obvious.
Yes, exactly.
So from our point of view as a zoo, like our whole purpose is for conservation, is to save them in the wild. When we have to kind of put our energy and resources into rescues, it does take away from that a little bit. So it's not an animal we would keep. We use it for education, which is great.
Yeah.
You know, so for schools and so on, and teaching people about these animals. But if you can go back to his owner, it'd be brilliant.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. We've one more snake.
One more, yep.
And
we've
this
our boa.
one is the biggest one of the day.
And it's actually our smallest boa that we have in the zoo.
But this is a boa.
A boa constrictor.
I mean, you can't fail but be taken with the skin. It is so beautiful.
It is.
It really is.
Yeah. Unfortunately for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that does mean that they make, great leather.
Yeah.
Now, that'd be different, if it was a case like we farm cattle, we use the leather for boots, bags, whatever else.
Yeah.
We use the meat. In the case of snakes, the majority of leather, if not, I'd say over 95% of snake leather comes from wild snakes. So they're not farmed for, they're not ethically killed, they're not ethically sourced, and it does wipe them out in the wild.
Okay.
Can I just ask you, what got you interested in snakes and reptiles in the first place?
Look at him, he's incredible.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, I think every kid, as a small kid, you're obsessed with dinosaurs and scaly things.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough that I had the opportunity to get my hands on some, and then I travelled a lot, and then when you see them in the wild, and it just stuck with me forever then. They're beautiful animals. They really are. They're so different to us. I think people. I mean that fear/fascination thing.
Yeah.
It can go either way.
Yeah.
But and it's easy to. And our job in the zoo is to turn it. To turn that fear back into fascination.
Okay, and it's a zoo, so people can visit you and get to see all these people.
Thanks a million for coming in and for bringing
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
all
Happy
your
St. Patrick's Day,
friends. Exactly, and you're welcome. For more information about what James and the crew do, you can visit nrz.ie.
Coming up, if you hear some hisses, don't worry. The snakes haven't gone running a riot. It's just sausages sizzling on the pan. There's a fry up in the kitchen next. See you in a minute.
I need a jumbo breakfast roll. 2 eggs, 2 sausages, 2 ranches, 2 bacon, 2 button, 1 black, 1 white. Oh, it's like take a tower on top of each other.
There it is. Good man, Pat. I will in my...
Roll. Fudge it over that. We're getting fudge. The okra sa chach earn and shut. If we all know one thing, we all agree about Irish cuisine, it's that you cannot go wrong with a full Irish.
Yes, and Lizzie Lyons from Lizzie's Little Kitchen is keeping us in the Irish spirit with her own spin on the breakfast classic. Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Many happy returns.
Yeah, you weren't too keen on the snakes, no?
No. Not my thing, no.
No.
Okay.
I'd say you're not alone, Lizzie, to be fair.
I'm a bit allergic now, to be honest.
That's all right. We're not allergic to a fry.
No.
Yes.
So really looking forward to your spin on this classic. I'd say there's a smell of sausages and rashers in kitchens up and down the country right now.
And if there isn't, we want to know why.
Why? Your reasons.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
Anyway, you're starting with the potato farls.
Yeah, so we're making a few potato farls. These are always brilliant. Like, I suppose the majority of the country will have a bit of mashed potato left over from their dinner in the evening, and I'm all for not throwing stuff away. So I said, why not use a bit of leftover mash and throw a potato cake together? And sure, is there anything more Irish than a potato cake?
It's true.
I actually prefer a potato cake to a hash brown.
Yeah, so would I.
Definitely.
Everything.
It's not greasy. Like hash browns can be greasy. What's the difference between a potato cake and boxty?
The boxty is raw potato. This
yes,
is...
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. You're right.
Now.
This is recycled potato.
This is recycled.
This is sustainable breakfast.
Exactly. My mother used to always do this, like with potatoes, when they were left over, she'd either fry them or if there was mash, she'd make a cake out of it, and I just think it's lovely. It's a really nice memory from home, you know, even the smell of it around the house.
Absolutely.
A fried potato. So anyway, I'm bringing it here to Ireland, and I suppose we better get on. So I have the mashed potato in. I'm putting in a bit of sea salt in there. Thank you. Some pepper. I have a little bit of baking powder, and I have some plain flour here.
Lovely.
So we're kind of going 3:1, so 3 times potato, 1 time flour, yeah? I have some butter in that flour, in that potato already, that mashed potato. So if you were cooking your potato from scratch, I would always throw in a little bit of melted butter into it, like a little tablespoon. So we'll bring it together like this, and it's very easy. You just keep rolling it around until it all comes together. It doesn't take too long. And in the meantime...
You're making a dough.
Yeah, making a dough. Very like gnocchi, actually. Just you're frying it instead of boiling
in
it.
water. Yeah.
So yeah, and this, like years ago, this would have been very easy for people. A lot of people mightn't, you know, I'm talking a long time ago now, when my dad was young, like they never had an oven, so they had everything over the fire. Everything was fried.
Right.
And they would have made bread like this as well, you know.
That's right.
Griddle bread is made exactly the same way. So we've all that brought together now, and I've a little bit of flour here, and we'll shape it up and just flatten it out. You don't need to do too much to it, because you'll make the potato heavier, do you know what I mean? It'll be, so you want it nice and light, and we keep shaping.
So that doesn't have to go into the fridge for a little while?
No, you're grand to work with. It's just a really nice, fast snack. So now, some people lob it straight onto the pan. Other people cut it into triangles.
Yeah, the triangles are...
Triangles are nicer. You can get a nicer brown on the edges as well. And they'll cook faster for you, all right? So these are ones. I have my pan on here. Just for extra measure, the snake is after taking it out of me, lads.
Another bit of butter for the snake.
I'm not a bit well after that snake.
Actually, the corn snake actually, I think, was smelling the food because the head was up.
Oh, really?
You know, you were saying they smell with their tongue.
Yes.
And the tongue was out.
And he's a devil for escaping that corn snake. He has form like...
Yeah, I was watching.
Yeah.
That's how they found him.
He has previous, so be careful there, Lizzie.
I'm telling you. Now, so we have our little cakes on there now. We'll turn up that, and we're waiting for them to fry. You have it kind of on a medium because you want that baking powder to cook out as well, okay?
All right.
So in the meantime, I have fried up some black and white pudding, and I've put it into the oven. And I'm going to throw on a few poached eggs here now, so we give it a swirl.
Now, this is a masterclass and a half we're about to have here, because how many of us have tried to do poached eggs and made an absolute
I have a
mess of
tablespoon of vinegar. For anybody that finds poaching eggs really difficult, throw in vinegar. It's the only way for you.
Do you know what I do? Because I wouldn't be as good as you are, Lizzie. I'd actually put the eggs into a little ramekin and then drop them into the water.
Yeah, that's another way, yeah.
But I noticed you stirred the water there.
Yeah, because it gives you a swirl and it keeps the white and the yellow of the egg together, you know, it goes around in a circle. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Good enough.
I'm telling you, he's impressive, isn't he?
Yeah.
He knows his stuff.
I poached the eggs in my house, yeah.
Yeah.
What can I tell you? But I picked up tips from like some Lizzie. And that's where I got some ideas for...
yeah, so we have that on there now. I'll throw it up a little bit. And I've all my bits inside in the oven. And when I'm making an Irish breakfast at home, this is what I do, sorry. I'll always fry everything off first in a shallow oil. And then I put it onto parchment paper or kitchen paper and take all the oil off it.
Yes.
And then put it into the oven so that you have it ready straight away. Do you know when your eggs?
Yeah.
So everything isn't out on the plate and freezing cold.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the sausages you will do on the pan, but the rest of the meats, the puddings, the rashers, under the grill?
What I would do under the grill, or else I would give them a little brown on the pan and then put them into the oven.
All right, okay.
Lizzie, can I ask you where you stand on an air fryer for the sausages?
I don't have one.
You don't? I find them really fast. Yeah. And it does them really evenly.
No.
So they're gorgeous.
I'm starving.
Oh, yeah,
Honest to God, my stomach thinks my throat's being cut.
Rashers.
Wow. Okay.
Now,
I feel like I'm at home.
These are all, would you believe that these are all really local? So the black and white pudding is from West Kerry, from Auniscole. The eggs are across the border. We don't discriminate in Kerry at all.
Right.
From West Limerick. These are Tournafulla free-range eggs. And the sausages are from Auniscole, and the rashers are from Billycasan over the road from me. Fantastic. So it's really nice to, you know, be able to bring all of this up to Dublin and show what we have below in the kingdom, and that we're not discriminatory at all towards Limerick people. In fact, my mother is from Limerick. So we have the black and white pudding there. And these are the potato cakes that I prepared earlier. And all I did was put on a little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper on the tomatoes.
The vine tomato does that.
Yeah, it does, isn't it? It's a lovely little finish to it. And then your two very healthy poached eggs. And do I have a spoon? Yes, I do.
It really is. It's worth getting up for this. It really is.
And this
I
is
skipped breakfast because I knew Lizzie was doing this today.
With your poached eggs, you need to put them on kitchen paper to take all that water off and have a nice dry poached egg as opposed to something swimming around on the plate.
Exactly.
Martin, I hope you remember that now when you're making your poached eggs.
I will, of course. That's the new thing I've picked up today.
Now, here we go. A little bit of parsley on that, and away you go.
Now.
Enjoy.
I'm a happy boy. And you know what I really like? It's a proper full Irish. No beans. Don't put beans on a plate at breakfast time.
I
it
forgot
becomes
your
an English
rashers.
breakfast.
That's right.
Yeah, when you put beans on the plate.
Yum. Lizzie Gurmila, thank you so much.
You're
This
very
is
welcome.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Full recipe details are up on our website, or as ever, Lizzie's little kitchen is open and ready to look after you if you tell them we sent you. You'll get barred.
After the break, we're getting word that Deric has joined a band down at the parade. I dread to think what's coming up.
OK, this sausage has a Kerry accent.
See, after a few.
Well, tá fáilte rascatí Ireland tá on green ag tanna bhain seo I lorna carach le haig lá féile pork, and we're saying a very good morning to everyone at Clondalkin Youth Band. We're joined now very quickly by the director Neil Christopher. Good morning to you, Neil.
Good morning, Deric.
Neil, you're up and running how many years?
Oh, we're up and running since 1986, and this is probably our 25th time in the Dublin Parade. Real excited this morning. It's a great day. Finally, the sun is shining.
Finally, the sunshine has come out. It's called the Youth Band. You have to be young to be in it.
Young at heart. Young at heart. We take the kids from when they're 7 years of age, and we start teaching them on recorder first, and then we put them through their paces, and they move on to their instruments. And some of the members here have been here for as long as I have, which is, I think, 26 years.
And in fact, here is where you met your wife.
It is indeed.
Your
yeah,
good lady wife.
My lovely wife, Tara.
Yeah.
We met here 26 years ago. We both started as instructors here. And
three kids, and they're all in the band as well.
Yeah.
Which is great.
It's a bit of a family affair.
Tell us about the route here this morning. Where are we off to?
So we'll go around Parnell Square and down O'Connell Street, across O'Connell Bridge, and then up Dame Street and down Patrick's Hill, and we'll finish round near Stephen's Green. So
and
it's
you're
a long trip.
First out of the traps here this morning.
Yeah, we're first today. Great honour for the band. So it is. We come every year. So yeah, we get a nice bit of kudos to get at the start.
Absolutely, and you've played all over Europe and across the pond.
All over
America
the world.
as well.
We've done the New York Patrick's Day Parade. That was cold. We've done Savannah in Georgia. We've been all over Europe as well. Yeah, so it's a great asset to Clondalkin.
Absolutely. Now, Abby, tell us your role here this morning.
So I'm part of the colour guard, which is basically dancing and performing. I really love it, and we get to twirl our flags and go with the music.
Give us a little twirl here this morning. A little bit of sport here for Abby. Off you go, Abby. Oh, come on, give her a cheer. That's what we love to see. Abby, come here. Have you ever let it drop?
Not really. I did at the start, but not really anymore.
Yeah, so if you do drop it, you just pick up and on you go.
Yeah, it's really, you don't really think about it. You just pick it up and go.
All right, Gormila Maha go to Abby. Now, Michael is with us. And Michael, you're the very smooth one on the saxophone, right?
Oh, yeah. All things sax here.
When did you take up the saxophone?
2 years. I'm in the band 2 years now. Picked it up and I adore it.
And is it hard to play?
It's hard to play. It's very heavy. That's the only thing. But I adore playing it, and yeah, jazz, everything, all that lot.
Give us a little whirl on it here.
Here we go. Look at this.
Oh, very smooth. Give him a cheer. And finally, the man keeping us all in check here this morning is Ollie. Good morning to you, Ollie.
Good morning, Deric.
Ollie, how long are you playing the drums here?
So I've been playing these drums as long as I've been playing in the band, which is 2 years.
Okay, and you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's very good.
And I mean, getting the beat, getting the rhythm right is quite important, right? Because if you're out, then everyone else is out, right?
Yeah, it's what keeps the song going, so you need to get it right.
You need to get it right. You've played with Clondalkin, you've travelled as well with the band around the country. Where have you been?
So we've been to Tralee, town here. This is my second time actually here. We've also been to Limerick, and we went around Clondalkin as well.
And of course, big competition tomorrow because you're heading down. Well, you're heading to Clondalkin right after this, and then you're heading to Limerick, right?
Yeah, Limerick is tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, that's where the real competition is, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a drum battle there.
Yeah, and you have another competition coming up in Galway next week. What have you got?
It's the Galway Drum Show for the young Irish drummer.
Okay, right. Well, we hear you on the drums there. Give us a little blast. Off you go there. This is live. No pressure here now. Give it up for Ollie! Neil, you're heading off to Limerick tomorrow. It's going to be a big competition, right?
Can't wait. All of our American friends will be over as well. They'll all be down in Limerick tomorrow.
And straight after this, you're heading to
Clondalkin. Busy day, yeah.
When does it start?
It starts when we get there.
All right. All right, what are you going to play us out with?
We're going to give you a bit of Funky Town.
Seat at the parade.
This is it. We with the special guests
and the fry on and everything.
We got the fry. We've got Irish coffees coming up after 11 o'clock.
Come here. I noticed you scarfed yours so fast.
I haven't eaten today. My stomach thought my throat's being cut.
I hadn't either, but my mother taught me not to be a gannet like you were. Sorry. If you saw the speed at which that thing disappeared.
Hoovered it. I was a hungry boy. It's St. Patrick's Day. You have to have your full Irish.
You have to have the lining in.
Okay.
Loads of you getting in touch. It looks like brilliant fun.
Great fun. Lots in touch, as Grania said. Happy St. Patrick's Day from Morky Buddy, is what we're told.
A Morky is a cross between something and a Yorkie, isn't it? Maltese and a Yorkie.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's a Morky, as far as I know. But I stand corrected, Buddy.
No,
that sounds right. If I'm wrong.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Rachel says Sansa's all set for St. Patrick's Day here in Doneraile in County Cork.
Sansa from Game of Thrones. Look at her. She has the air of Winterfell about her, all right, with her fluffy
looks
coat.
As if she's got to order the beheading of somebody.
She's a
she
princess.
Hasn't had her full Irish yet.
Pauline says, happy St. Paddy's Day. They're off to the parade. No full Irish here. And she wants to show us Toby.
Can we see Toby?
Have we got Toby?
No.
We're
not getting
Toby's
to see
lovely. And you're going to have to take our word for it.
OK. And Angela says on Irish names, my kids' Irish names are Quaylen, Cormac, Finn and Saoirse.
Aintach, I love it. I love it.
Cool.
The Irish names have made a huge comeback. We love to see it.
OK. Yeah, and it's great to hear about that Irish names are making a comeback. Remember, if you want to get in touch with us, if you're making plans for today, if you have any photos you want to send in our direction, 0896 111 111 is how you do it.
Stay with us for more Law Pádraig shenanigans. Threat and Vidisha Bugsha.
I wish I was marrying Paul Kennedy.
What the?
Oh! Paul? Have you seen Paul? I haven't seen him anywhere. How did he get in there?
I'd love to get married up here.
Why don't you?
I don't want to be difficult.
I'd hardly call having a voice at your own wedding being difficult, would you?
I'm not sure this is supposed to be my life.
Now's the time to speak up.
Leave me breathless.
Yes, good morning. We're setting you up for a day of Kaylee's crack August Kyo. Happy St. Patrick's Day if you're just joining us.
There's Martin King speaking in tongues.
Tongues, yeah. The Spirit of the Lord descended on me and I'm now able to speak in tongues.
Kate Fáilte ar fad. If you want to be the life of your St. Patrick's Day party later on, and who doesn't, look no further. We are learning how to make the perfect Irish coffee.
Lovely. From Shamrock ice creams and marching in parades to Down Rivers Green, we're celebrating our Irishness and revealing what St. Patrick's Day really means to all of us.
And they're the Gaeilge rappers bringing a fresh sound to the Irish music scene. We'll be treated to a performance from Imlay before 12.
Okay, now all morning long, our man on the ground has been at the start of the Dublin Parade. There's less than an hour to the kick-off. So how's it looking there now, Deric?
Martin August Grania ta on Green Expapa Galore. Welcome down here to Lord Cork to celebrate St. Patrick's Day. We're joined here by all the Mooney family from
Dublin. They've come up from Waterford this morning.
From Waterford. And who have we got here this morning?
I've Jude, I've Samuel, I've Oliver, I've Sylvie, and I've my wife Sarah.
You have your hands full.
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely. Moving swiftly here, we're saying hello to Japan.
Yeah!
What part of Japan?
Nagoya. Tokyo.
First time here in Ireland?
Yeah!
And finally, we're heading off to Tala to the
Mooney family.
The Mooney family. And this is your first time at the parade?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
And guess what? We brought sunshine.
Oh, thank God. Yeah, thank God for once.
We're getting a tan down here in O'Connell Street this morning. We'll have lots more live here over the next hour or so. But for now, back to you in the studio. Big cheer, guys.
He's having great fun.
He is having great crack. Fair play, Deric. Gurmila Mahad. Let's take a check now on your morning papers, starting with the front page of the Sunday Independent. Its headline reads, Gore the bike row, sworn testimony changed by supervisor. It goes on to report that at least one Garda supervisor involved in a controversial investigation that led to a Garda being suspended for 3 years for giving an unwanted bicycle to a pensioner changed their sworn testimony at a recent Board of Inquiry.
Next is the Business Post. It opens with government finally admits housing targets significantly below demand. It writes the Finance Minister, Michael McGrath, has been warned by his officials in private documents that the government's housing targets of 33,000 homes are significantly below the actual requirement of 50,000 homes per year.
On to the tabloids, and the Irish Mail on Sunday leads with 7 TDs consider MacDougall alliance. It writes that independent TDs who oppose the family and care referendums are mobilising around former Justice Minister Michael MacDougall in a bid to create a new Dáil alliance.
The Sunday World puts cab to grab Viper's Nest on its front page. It writes that the Criminal Assets Bureau have launched a legal bid to seize the family home of veteran gangster and debt collector Martin Foley over his unpaid €738,000 tax bill.
The Irish Sunday Mirror leads with the headline, Parade Charade. It writes the government was last night accused of stroke politics after a migrant camp was cleared ahead of the St. Patrick's Day festivities.
And the Sun on Sunday opens with Strictly stars in Summit on Geo. It writes that ex-Strictly stars Amanda Abington, Ranveer Singh and Laura Whitmore have met in person to share their difficult experiences with pro Giovanni Pernice. So whatever about people getting ready for the St. Patrick's Day parade, it's our pets that are dressed up to the nines.
They are very important members of the family.
Well, they are.
So you've been sending in
their finery.
They're out in their finery. We're going to go to you first, Leah. Happy St. Patrick's Day from Snooker. No parade for us, but a long walkies in the park. I'm sure Snooker would much prefer that anyway. Let's take it.
Well, hello.
Stop.
That's Snooker.
That is gorgeous Snooker.
OK, Vanessa. Ali is ready to watch the parade in Carlow.
This is my favourite part of the show. Gorgeous. Sandro says Gizmo in Eden Derry in County Offaly is... come on.
All good to go. I mean, decked out from head to toe.
The cuteness, the bandanas, the bows, everything.
All Giz
going on.
needs is for the parade to actually go by the window.
Absolutely, doesn't have to move. Best seat in the house. And seeing as we're looking at grandchildren, all the rest of it, I wanted to show you my baby. This is Murphy. He's in Spiddle in Galway at the moment, and he's wearing green, as you can see.
Well, that looks like South African green.
It's Springbok green, because he's a dual nationality pup.
And
Daddy is South African. Oh, he has both, yeah.
Yes, that's all right.
because he came over from South Africa with us, so he had to have a passport to travel. Genuinely.
Okay. And that's Murph.
Murph, and he can hum or on the vein.
Really?
As well as in Cozy Sikalele.
Okay.
Not really.
We need the video. Please, we need the video. All right. While we're waiting on that video, let's cross back to Deric, who's in Dublin City Centre. Deric.
Yeah, Gurmila Mahgood, Martin August Grania, Tommy Bjorn Show. We're live behind the scenes here of the Dublin Parade that's kicking off. At 12 o'clock, we're joined by some members of the Dublin Fire Brigade and Pipe Band. Big day for you, Keith.
It is. Every year we come here, we lead off the parade along with the Lord Mayor. Like the Army has the President, the Lord Mayor Dublin has Dublin Fire Brigade.
Oh yeah, so they have the Army and the Mayor.
The Mayor has Dublin Fire Brigade.
Okay, and Liam, you're 40 years, 40 years in the job.
Just retired.
And just retired.
Just retired.
And your good lady wife has had to put up with you.
And even more time now to put up with me.
Say good morning to Breda.
Morning, Breda. How are you? See you later.
A great day for Dublin Fire Brigade and Pipe Band.
It is indeed, and of course next year, speaking of 40, we're 40 years formed. It's our 40th anniversary next year. So we're here most years, and we've guests coming over from New York, London and West Hampton for the big day today.
And Tom, you've also played abroad as well.
Absolutely, in usual alternative years we go abroad, yeah.
Okay, and finally to Peter here. Who have we got, Peter?
We have Rory here. He's our mascot representing us for the Dublin Fire Brigade today.
How old is he?
He's 8 years of age and he's an Irish wolfhound.
And who feeds him and where does he be minded when he's not here?
He stays in the outskirts of Dublin with a lady called Kathleen. She looks well.
I'd say she eats him out of house and home, does she?
She does. He does in certain.
All right, from everyone here, Dublin Fire Brigade. Back to your studio. He's a big fella, isn't he?
And you know what they pray for every year?
Go on.
No wind. Especially in those kilts. No, what? If I was wearing a kilt, I wouldn't want a bit of the draft. No thanks. Anyway, great to see them, and they're celebrating 40 years next year.
I'm
Brilliant.
getting a picture, and I didn't want the picture.
You didn't want that picture in your mind.
No, I didn't want that picture.
They're leading the parade once again.
We'll be back over to Deric, of course, throughout the next hour. But up next, for the day that's in it, we're going to be learning how to make the perfect Irish coffee. Back with your ball chip. Céad fáilte over that imagine Nish. Today we've already braved snakes. We've joined a marching band and we've sampled a full Irish, but there's one essential Irish tradition we have yet to try.
Yes, Will Lynch from Bar 1661 is here now to show us how to make the perfect Irish coffee.
Yeah, great to have you.
Great to have you here.
Yeah, it's very simple. It's one of the easiest drinks you can make, and it's obviously our national cocktail as well. So we're celebrating today. We're going to go a little bit bougie on the whiskey as well, which is should be nice.
Easy to make is very easy for you to say.
Yes.
Who you are and what you do.
It's quite a simple drink. Again, it's just got 4 ingredients. So we got Irish whiskey. We're going to use Rowan-Co Irish whiskey today with freshly brewed coffee, a little bit of Demerara sugar, and then top it off with cream and a little bit of nutmeg as well. So
sounds good to us.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Cool. So what we've done is already preheated our glasses. There's some boiling water in here as well. We're going to dump this.
All right.
So our glasses are already nice and warm, nice and hot.
This is not going on the ground for everybody at home.
Just so you know. There's a very posh box down there that we're...
Now, so next up...
So that's important, so it doesn't split.
Absolutely, yeah. Won't split it out. And obviously the drink's going to be nice and hot then as well. We're going to start off with Demerara sugar. So this is 2 parts Demerara sugar to 1 part water.
Oh, so this is... I thought this was the whiskey.
No, not at all.
So did I.
This is our sugar. So, again, you don't want those little bits of kind of granules in your drink as well. So what I've done is made a little syrup just to speed things up and also to help it be nice and smooth and consistent.
All of it?
So a little small measure, 15 ml, up to the little line inside the top.
Okay.
And just in. And in we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. Next up we have...
Could you just use sugar if you wanted to?
You could, yeah. Yeah, obviously you want to stir it in then as well, but using the syrup is, I suppose, easier just to get it nice and smooth. No little bits or
very swanky as well if you really want to impress people.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, very simple to make. Next, we're going to add in our whiskey. So we're going to go with Rowan-Co Solera. It's a brand new Irish whiskey.
Oh, it's okay for us to open.
I've got one here for you,
yeah.
We're going to use 25 mils of this in here as well. So it's...
yeah.
There we go. Flip it around there. It's just the shorter side of your...
Oh, the short? Oh, there's me going for the larger side.
25 mils. Is that up to the roof?
Up to the top there, yeah.
Yeah. You missed.
I know, I did. Breathe in.
There we go.
Now.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Okay.
Perfect. There we go. And then obviously the most important part is, or one of the most important parts after the whiskey, is our coffee as well. So what we want to do is bring it up to about a finger width of a gap before the top of the glass. That's where our cream is going to live. This is actually a cold brew coffee I've reheated. So again, however you make your coffee at home, whether that's on a French press or if it's even instant coffee.
Does it matter?
It does, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What I do is I make actually a cold brew blend. So I do like an infusion. I grind it down, leave it in water for 24 hours and then strain it through. But the cold brew is...
So old coffee?
Not quite cold, no. So what
old, I mean. As in it's 24 hours old by the time you're using it.
You're using it, but then I'm heating it up again. So cold brew is a slower extraction and brings out kind of fruitier flavours in your coffee as well. So complements the Solera cask and the sherry cask finish you're going to get on the whiskey as well.
There is that smell of sherry. Do you get that smell?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm getting the whiskey as well. Is there a risk, though, if the coffee is too hot, that it could break the glass?
Well, that's why you temper the glass beforehand.
Okay.
Yeah, so
all right.
I'm going to top you up here, Martin.
All right.
Small little bit.
Oh, sorry.
Perfectionist.
When I drink whiskey,
there we go.
I drink whiskey.
And when I drink
coffee,
I drink coffee.
Yeah.
That's
now,
right.
one of the hardest parts of the Irish coffee is the cream. So I've given this a good whip up. I've also added in a little drop of vanilla extract as well. So it helps complement the whiskey also. And then what we're going to use is a spoon, or front or back of the spoon, to slowly pour the cream and layer it on top. So when you go to sip it, then you get this lovely cold, but then hot follows on afterwards.
Underneath, yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, there we go. Just like that.
Gorge.
Now, Granny, your turn, no pressure.
Yeah. Let's see how I do this.
Perfect. Look at that.
Okay.
What a pro.
All right.
Looks as if you know what you're doing. I'm sure
we're talking a good game, Martin.
Okay. And it is. Okay.
Beautiful.
And the way this should work is that it should be the cream should be there to the bitter end.
Yes, absolutely. So just like your good pint of Guinness,
it's
going to sit there till the very end.
There you go.
And now to garnish it off and top us off, we've got a little bit of freshly grated nutmeg as well. So this again complements some of those spice notes you get in the Roco whiskey as well.
Look at that.
Yeah.
You see, that's why you get paid the big bucks, Will. Fabulous. There you go.
Lovely. This is just, you see, not every house will have you in it. That's the problem, Will.
That is.
Yeah.
Listen, look at that. Perfect.
No.
Perfect shooting.
Should you need a day off, Will?
Martin is available from 9 to 12.
Whenever. Has this become popular again, Irish coffee?
Absolutely. Obviously, like it's a winter style drink. You'd have other drinks, other variations. This, like the Belfast coffee, is a cold brew coffee made with poutine as well. But again, it's Patrick's Day today. National holiday. We're celebrating, so sláinte.
Sláinte wa.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go, guys. Get that into you, Cynthia.
Oh, yeah.
You know what that tastes like?
More?
Yes. Absolutely. Delicious, Will. So
the vanilla and the nutmeg.
Nutmeg, yeah.
It makes all the difference. It elevates it.
Brings it all together. You get that little bit of fruitiness coming through as well.
Okay. Top drawer. Just after a full Irish. That works. Okay. All right. While we're sipping these,
let's cross back now to Deric, who's soaking up the atmosphere ahead of the largest parade in the country. Sláinte, Deric.
Yeah, Gordon, meanwhile, we've got Grania, August, Martin. Check out the Grand Marshal car that has just pulled up behind us here, saying good morning to everyone. Happy St. Patrick's Day! Mary, all the way from?
Ballymun.
And you got prime spot here, Mary.
Yeah, prime spot. I'm here since 11 o'clock.
This morning. Are you looking forward to it?
Can't wait. I love the parade.
You come here each and every year.
Yeah.
And of course, Ballymun has their own parade as well.
Well, I don't know about this year.
Yeah, but anyway, we're going to pop down here all the way from
Czech Republic.
Czech Republic. First time here in Ireland?
Yeah, for the first time.
Okay, you looking forward to the parade today?
Yes, it's beautiful.
Beautiful, and we brought a bit of sunshine as well.
Sorry?
A little bit of sunshine as well.
Sunshine as well. The weather is good, I think.
Yeah, and you're going to enjoy that all the way from France.
France, yes.
De quel part de France?
Picardie.
And your name, in fact, is?
Patrick.
Patrick. And of course, we beat you in the rugby. Yeah! Back to you guys in studio. They didn't like that.
No, they did not like that. Yeah, you had to.
Just had to get that in. Anyway, we'll be back with more from with more St. Patrick's Day fun, and we'll be back at the parade too after this break.
Céad Fáilte Roimh Irais, what was once just a religious holiday, has gone on to become a worldwide celebration of all things Irish and a cultural phenomenon with a reach and an influence other countries could only dream of.
So here to talk about their St. Patrick's Day memories and just what they think being Irish is all about in 2024. Our comedian Justine Stafford, presenter of the Black and Irish podcast, Femi Bancole, and broadcaster Keith Walsh. Good to see you and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Conna sa táisih go léir.
Go má, cech bhfuil tusa.
Tá me go má.
See?
Go to the top of the class. Gold star.
That's the end of it.
Your great-grandparents have to sign it and then bring it back to school.
Well, now I have a grandmother from Anrin, and my grandfather's from Dingle on Dangan. So.
Gaeilge on both sides.
You know what I mean? I've no excuses.
You've none.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's a religious holiday, so I assume all of you have been to Mass this morning, yeah?
Yes,
absolutely.
Got the ashes.
Yeah, and the communion as well.
You've got green ashes.
Well, it was just there. Anyway, can I just ask, I'll start with you, Justine. Your memories of St. Patrick's Day as a child?
As a child, now look, because I'm from a place called Nobber in County Meath, so there wasn't a parade in Nobber, but we'd go to Cav and Kingscourt parade, and it was just so many tractors and lorries. You love to see it. And I was in the Scouts and I got to march in the parade, and I was always jealous because there was girls Irish dancing on the side of a truck, and I wanted to be up there, but I've 3 left feet, so I didn't stand a chance.
Were you playing the recorder when you... The Scouts were always playing recorders.
Recorders, yeah. No, I had the job of holding the banner, and that was... yeah, big day. Yeah.
Literally the Grand Marshal of the Scouts.
Yeah.
Why would you want to be in the truck when you're the Grand Marshal?
You know. But I love seeing the comparison of the rural parades to the, the official Dublin one, because you're kind of like, you always see floats that are kind of something topical that's happened this year. Like, I think there might be some RT Oireachtas floats this year, you might see them down the country. But I think that I love seeing the comparisons of the rural ones and the big official Dublin one.
I agree. I think the difference with the rural ones is, and I don't know if it's the same for you guys, Jimmy up the road.
Yes.
And he's dressed up as whatever he's dressed up as that year, and you have a connection to it. Mm-hmm. Whereas when you see a marching band from Chicago, they're wonderful and they're polished and their legs are incredibly tanned and they're doing their thing with the sticks.
Well, that's just the fellas.
And that's just the lads. But there's something when you know the people were going by on the back of the lorry.
Yeah. You know them.
You know the characters, but it's the guy who you don't know whether he's in the vintage car bit or he's just lost. And it's a Fiesta, and you're going, is this in the parade or is he? And he doesn't seem to know either, and he's just waving out the window.
You like to drive yet? Show me your license.
Are they the memories that conjure up in your mind?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I'm from Athlone. Well, I spent a big chunk of my childhood in Athlone, so it was a lot of tractors. I mean, Athlone was a bit more of a metropolis.
Yes.
But I always marched with the hurling team, and you'd literally... It was the 80s, so your parents didn't care where you were, so you'd have to walk to the place where you'd meet, which was, 4 miles, and you'd walk in your gear. It was always cold.
Yes.
It was pretty much always raining. There was no Under Armour then, so you'd have the shorts and some sort of like plastic jersey, because it didn't absorb anything, it didn't keep you warm, it just made you red raw. And then you'd
wait. Like in my day.
I had to get out of my hole, climb out. I had to knit my own clothes. I'd walk on my hands through mud, and then you'd just be waiting around for because they'd have you there really early, and you'd be standing around for about 3 hours before it started.
Yeah.
You'd literally be you'd have hypothermia. I was famous in my household because I was small, I was skinny. I'd have blue lips and I'd have a blue nose.
Wrong colour for the day that's in it.
I think so.
Green.
It should have been green, you know.
That might signify different problems though if it was green, though.
That was a different. That was a scurvy. That was a different.
What about you, Femi? What are your first memories of Paddy's Day?
Unlike these two, I have zero talent, so I was not in the parade.
You have to hold the banner.
Hang on a second.
That's hard work. It doesn't require talent either, like, no. But for me, it was always big. It was always like, 10, 11, 12 years old. Big night on the town. Finally, the day the parents trusted me to leave the house by myself, go out with the boys, gallivanting around town, in the parade, chatting to the girls from school, all that kind of crap. It was really nice. Again, same as the guys, I grew up in Dundalk, and it was very like, seeing all my other mates that had the talent. I'm like, oh yeah, there's Saoirse there, tap dancing away on the carriage, and I'm just there like, oh. But no, it was lovely, and it's also like kind of like having the contrast then when I move up to Dublin and seeing like the big grandstand parades, all the different bits. Yeah, that was really lovely for me.
It is pretty impressive, all right. But nothing quite as impressive as your jumper.
Yes, thank you. Just Pelador.
We a bit of a throwback in that it seems to be designed on an old Irish football shirt.
Yeah, I think Italian 90 maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, 90 and 1991. Yes. I knitted it myself. I'm not going to say that.
But I love the brand is Pelador, which is footballer, as Gaeilge.
Yes.
Spelled in English.
Why did I not know that? Oh my God. I'm so... I'm disappointed you right now.
How many months did you spend?
It doesn't matter. I know, too much. Oh my God, I am so embarrassed. I am actually so embarrassed. That is so bad.
Oh, I'm really
Yeah.
I'm watching Noel Quinn putting the ball in the back of the net again.
Totally.
Yeah. That's my all the nostalgia there, like for the day that's in it as well. It's one of my favourite pieces. I actually have two of them.
Really?
I have three Pelador pieces.
Oh yeah. The white with the green.
Sitting next to you is Keith, who's represented Ireland at foot golf.
I have, played for my country.
Foot golf.
Foot golf.
Thank you for saying that.
What would foot golf? It's like football golf combined. What would that be? Oscailga. Just Pelador golf.
Coscoff?
Yeah, Cosc, yeah.
Oh, well done. Very good. Is that not Easter?
Shinkoshk.
So yeah, I've always had. I believe in the universe and I believe in manifestation. Mm-hmm. And I always thought, I could still play for Ireland.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how. And when it happened, I wasn't sure that was how I'd planned it. But I ended up representing Ireland at the Foot Golf World Cup in Florida last year.
That's all right.
I have so many questions.
Yeah, me too. Unfortunately, we don't have time. We'll have to continue this on air.
Hey, look it up. Google it.
I had an open-top bus ready for your return with the cup.
Yeah.
It's still there.
But I didn't do well enough. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. We're going to come back to this. We're keeping you around. We're going to come back to this.
Yeah, because right now we're heading back to the parade in Dublin City Centre and to Deric. What's going on, Deric?
Yeah, Gurmina Mahagut, Grania, August, Martin, Tommy Bioncha behind the scenes of the St. Patrick's Day Parade here in the heart of the capital. Kicking off, of course, at 12 o'clock this afternoon. Who are we joined by now?
Dan. Connor.
Barry. And who are you representing, Dan?
We're with the 7th Battalion Army Reserve in Colborough Barracks and Rathmines there.
A big day for the Army as well, Connor.
Absolutely, yeah. It's great to be out here today. There's fantastic crowds. We've also just been meeting all our comrades from the other frontline services and emergency services around the country, and we've also got a lot of international delegations in from the United States, from Britain and elsewhere, fire service, police, Coast Guards. So it's great just to meet everyone and have this day out.
Lots of members of the Irish Army serving abroad as well today.
There's lads overseas who are celebrating Patrick's Day, I'm sure overseas also. We're 7th Battalion Rathmines. Crowds are great today. We're out here to enjoy ourselves like everyone else.
We brought a bit of dry weather.
For the change, absolutely.
For a change, all right. We'll have more here behind the scenes. But for now, back to you, Martin and Gurney. Gurmila,
Deric, we're back with our panel here after the break. Foot golf.
Carmela Mag Martin August Groney. We're behind the scenes here ahead of the St. Patrick's Parade that is kicking off in and around midday. So another little bit to go. We're joined now by all the Balda family.
Hello.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Are you enjoying the day?
We are very excited for the start of the parade.
Obviously, the Italian-Irish mix here.
That's right, yes.
All the way from what part of Italy?
Tropea.
Tropea,
Italy.
Are you looking forward to it, boys?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now, we're going to pop down the line here and we're heading off to... Good morning. How are you? Where are you from?
Romania.
Oh, Romania. What part of Romania?
Northwest.
Northwest. And you're living here how many years?
9.
9 years. Are you enjoying the day?
Yeah, very much.
Great. And we brought a bit of sunshine, as we mentioned now. Hello, hello. Who have we got here?
Italy.
Italy as well. What part of Italy?
Rome.
Is it your first time to Ireland?
Yeah.
Are you enjoying it?
Yes.
Great atmosphere as well, isn't it? Yeah. Great. Enjoy your day. And finally, who are we saying hello to? What's your name?
Zhao Yue.
Zhao Yue. And where are you from, Zhao Yue?
China.
From China?
Yes.
Did you come over here especially for St. Patrick's Day?
Yes. No, I study here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and are you enjoying the day here so far?
Yeah, yes.
It's great. The build-up, of course. What are you looking forward to most here?
How?
What are you looking forward to seeing today?
I don't know. It's my first time to.
It's your first time?
Yes.
Okay, yes. You're just going to take it all in and enjoy it. All right, we'll have lots more here live from the parade in another little bit. But for now, big cheer, guys. Back to your studio.
Deric, I don't know how he does it.
He's actually going to wind up in the car with Patrick Kielty. You do know that.
Of course he is. He deserves it. He's the Miss Congeniality of the St. Patrick's Day Parade. He's incredible. We're back in the company now of comedian Justine Stafford, presenter of the Black and Irish podcast Femi Bancole, and broadcaster Keith Walsh. I want to come to you now, Justine, because there's Deric. He's near enough to O'Connell Street on St. Patrick's Day, the day when it's thronged with people, and you worked not too far from him.
Yeah, frontline worker there in McDonald's years as well. Oh, it is 24/7. It was like through the door is just non-stop. They're coming in and they're looking for green ice cream, which is long gone. That's gone in the first hour, and it's just, my heart goes out to all the people working in hospitality, in pubs, in restaurants today, because they're troopers.
Yeah.
They are troopers.
Yeah. What do you mean you've no green ice cream left?
Green pints. We dye everything green as well, don't
pints?
we? Yeah.
I'm missing. I don't know. Clearly never eye on Paddy's Day.
You're just colourblind. You can't see it.
What flavour are the green shakes?
St. Patrick.
They're the flavour of James Lowe.
Yeah, I was like,
James Lowe flavour.
James Lowe flavour. Oh, I'm sure jeez, they'll be thronging to McDonald's today.
I would imagine minty.
Yeah.
Minty.
Minty.
Very Irish, isn't it?
Minty St. Patrick.
It's the same minty snake.
Just snake.
Have you been away for St. Patrick? Have you been abroad for St. Patrick's?
Yeah, many. I've been in LA for St. Patrick's Day. I've been in London, obviously. I think most of us I was trying to escape.
Touring with the foot golf team.
It was with the tour. Yeah, it's all foot golf tours. But my oddest St. Patrick's Day was in New Zealand. Myself and my now wife were doing our time around the world. We were in Australia. We said, wouldn't it be great if we went over to New Zealand to do our 2 weeks over there? And it was around St. Patrick's Day. And my uncle was living there in a place called Coromandel, and he hadn't been back to Ireland since he left. So we were there for St. Patrick's Day, and then St. Patrick's Day arrived. We were like, great, let's do something. And straight away, it was Suzanne, my wife, was excluded. It was a men-only affair, right?
Nice.
Right.
Me and my uncle and his friend, who was also Irish at one point, sat in this man's conservatory, listened to Irish records, not like Planksty or anything good. It was like, you know, the Irish songs, the albums that they sell to the Americans.
Okay.
And what Irish music sounds like on, to Americans. We listened to this terrible music and drinking Irish mist out of these. They'd only take these shot glasses out on St. Patrick's Day because they had little shamrocks on them and
was in the shape of a little boot.
Yeah, that kind of thing. Yeah, and they'd put a shamrock tablecloth down. There was no women. There was nobody else. There was no parade. It was just me and two...
As it should be.
Yeah. It was just me and two men.
Talking about the old days.
Not even.
Terrible.
Because what they were talking about, I had no idea what they were talking about, because they were talking about a land that didn't exist.
Yeah, exactly.
And never happened, and it's gone. But it was interesting. Irish mist, don't drink more than one.
In a row? just to make it.
Yes, between me and my wife, because I went. And I should have said no, you know, but I was like, well, it was the worst St. Patrick's Day ever.
What about you, Femi? Have you ever done St. Patrick's Day abroad?
No, literally the one experience which I was really excited for, I was in San Francisco about 4 years ago. I was going to be there for like a month, St. Patrick's Day, really excited, and doesn't COVID hit. While I was over there, genuinely, and I remember it was like March, whatever, 2020, and it was like Trump was like, we are closing the borders, and I was like, oh, okay, so I need to get home, and it actually took me 2 days and 5 flights to get home.
Wow. So
Yes.
you spent that St. Patrick's Day.
Yes, that's how I spent that St. Patrick's Day, just gallivanting around Europe, trying to navigate myself.
Well, you think now St. Patrick could have chased the old COVID out of the country?
Do you think so? Like,
you know what I mean? While
or at least give me a lift over or something.
Yeah.
What about you, Justine? Have you ever been abroad
I've
for
never been
Paddy's
abroad
Day?
for Paddy's, but I think it's one of those things, like I have friends living abroad, and I think you have to embrace far more when you're away being Irish. When you're here and a local to it, you kind of take it for granted in a way.
Absolutely, and actually living abroad as I did for a few years, everybody wants a piece of you on Paddy's Day, actually, because they think you're bringing the crack factor or that little bit of Irishness to the table.
No pressure
You're
whatsoever.
a celebrity,
It's kind of unrecognisable, because when I was in Los Angeles, I was trying to watch the Ireland game, the rugby match, Ireland playing England, and I went to all these pubs with tricolours and flags and all this kind of stuff, and every pub I went in, nobody knew what rugby meant or what the Six Nations was. So
cynical.
Oh, terrible.
Murphy's or whatever.
Oh,
over the top.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Guys, thanks so much. Now,
we're going back to Deric.
We are right now to see where he is. What are you up to, Deric?
Yes,
Deric,
thank you
we'll
very
go
much,
on.
guys. We're having a fantastic morning. Look at all the colour here. Of course, the parade kicking off at 12 o'clock on the button. Noli, look, I love the costume here this morning.
Thank you.
Where are you from?
Finglas.
Finglas. Are you looking forward to today?
I am.
You are, and you got all dressed up especially for it. Now, we're going to swing over here very, very quickly before we let you go, guys, because we're going to finish off with a little bit of a Mexican wave. What's your name?
Luis.
And where are you from, Luis?
Nogales, Sonora.
You are from Mexico!
Yes! Viva Mexico!
Viva Mexico!
Viva Mexico!
Are you enjoying the day?
Oh, yes, definitely.
And it's your first time here in Ireland?
First time in Ireland.
Okay, so because it's your first time in Ireland and it's your first time at the parade, we're going to finish off with a massive Mexican wave. Are you up for it, guys? Yeah! Okay, so we're going to count in together. Remember, we learned our Squelga. 3, 2, August ahead. Up we go! Having lots of fun here. Kicking off at 12 o'clock. Back to you in studio. Big cheers!
That doesn't carry on all the way down.
Fair play, Rich Deric. That's an íntaach.
If that doesn't continue all the way down to O'Connell Bridge,
I'd be very disappointed. That's it. Guys, we're taking bank holiday Monday after tomorrow. I think we deserve it.
Yeah, I think so. It certainly need to lie down after this morning.
All that, but coming up on Tuesday, how to spot a quarter-life crisis. Yes, we've invented that. We'll highlight what to look out for.
Geordie Shore's Sophie Cassay will be talks about everything from fertility to fillers.
All that plus vintage jewels, men's fashion and all the news you're waking up to on Tuesday from 7.
We're going to leave you now with a music performance from an unconventional band with a unique sound, all performed in Irish. For information on their upcoming gigs and new music, head over to imla.ie.
Cwrigi Fir Olcha Rove Anish, Imle agus a single Cahan Agilto o Hasana. Take it away, guys.
Gan stros ma eigne Kúpla mí a nua slum féin all sláinte Kúpla mí a nua sogar dog tú mo heh Mé ag mohu or is fui yara tom shave Is ní ra tú wer mo into now la fada agus mé ag dul Kúla mégar cuaig tú wer immer chuchan dullar school Majin bra mort agus gléig ar my phone Feckin mé da animal like when you get home
men like a Joe. That's a gum girl, y'all may I'm down with the store. That's a gum girl bed and see Lucy Ruth. That's a gum good or it's mega to grub quick. That's a gum good or it's mega men like a Joe. That's a gum girl, y'all may I'm down with. That's a gum girl, kahin and tin so hasanda. You pull the metal wet. To them the garden is starting to deflate. Kahin and tin so hasanda. You pull the metal wet. To them the garden is starting to deflate. What an early hela. It's here home. Zero maar goordane. Ach fos mahiam. Shan mohan. Tashiat bil anam. Ngahen til to hasanda. Kud metado. Turdom do vadene. Starten med deflate. Ngahen til to hasanda. Kud metado. Turdom do vadene. Starten med
Dog mu J on plain Chicago, dog mu J your coursey ma. Cooper Mur our Mally Fain as we made act like Gawkin Raw. Dime she tutu Fain her large, dime she made me Fain Samara, Tommy Glonham Nish, coursey ma o Bunga Bor. Curty Glade from out the blue, our Glade to wear on Iver Car to a Geary Booler Reach. Don't know where to even start, like Sween of Vim McCligan, on Cordon Rit or Reach, I'm Fekig May who wear an Ina Shan Cara New Squeeze like.